That Supreme Court leak is pushing abortion rights back into the spotlight, and Americans are divided on whether the procedure should be legal. Here are the numbers. According to a most recent NBC News poll, 31% of people believe abortion should always be legal, compared to 23% of people who say it should be legal most of the time. On the other hand, though, 34% of people think abortion should be illegal with exceptions, and 8% want a total ban. Let's bring in NBC News senior political editor Mark Murray for more on these numbers. Mark, good morning. Good to have you with us. So let's take a look at some of these numbers a little bit closer. In 2021, 54% of people felt abortion should be legal most or all of the time. In 2018, 71% of people felt Roe versus Wade should not be overturned. So how did we end up here? Because the numbers I just read kind of painted a little bit of a different picture.
Yeah, and so, Savannah, it is important to note that our polling on these two different questions have been pretty stable over the past decades. We've been asking them going back, particularly the question on Roe versus Wade, since 1989. And so when we show that a majority think that abortion should be legal, it's important to note the numbers in the middle, where there's a lot of nuance in that debate, where you actually have a majority of people who say that abortion should be legal most of the time, but not all of the time, along when you combine it with people who think it should be illegal with exceptions. So there's a lot of middle ground there. The other question, when you end up having 71% who do not want to overturn Roe v. Wade, that's a question on whether you want to actually change the status quo or not. And so when looking at the polling numbers and looking at the midterm effect, that might be one of the biggest challenges for Republicans who really want this change, is they're disrupting the status quo. And the status quo has been pretty comfortable for a lot of Americans.
Let's also take a look at geographical location, because it seems to kind of play a factor here, at least in some of the trends that we're seeing. 65% of people living in urban areas support legal abortion, compared to 33% of people living in rural areas. And we also know Republicans tend to have a large voting population in rural areas. Do these numbers tell you anything about how abortion could influence the upcoming midterms?
So, when we end up, it really is going to show you the places where in the states where you're going to end up having these kind of abortion bans. And one other piece of numbers, the South, Savannah, ends up having a overperformance in the share of people who want to make abortion illegal. And when you end up looking at whether it's the South or rural America, those are the GOP strongholds right now. And that's a really good indication of our politics, where urban America leans Democrat, suburban America is kind of right in the middle, the swing voters, and you end up having rural America, which is really the base of today's Republican Party.
Finally, let's focus on evangelicals. 26% of evangelicals approve of legal abortion. How has this group influenced the public debate over abortion?
Yeah, when we talk about the base of the Republican Party, evangelical Christians really do end up driving the discussion and driving a lot of the Republican base. And so their overwhelming opposition to abortion really comes as no surprise, and really kind of shows you the moving part of today's Republican Party and why they wanted this kind of decision, along with a lot of the Supreme Court justices that they've been able to put on the courts over the years.
Murray, a lot of interesting stuff in these numbers helping explain the divide right now. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.